This is Maria Florio, your cruise ship public health reporter. On board today, once again, shadowing Captain Hill, a retired public health service officer, and Officer Zamfir, the vessel's public health officer, as they conduct an operational inspection of the Lido buffet up on Deck 9. In accordance with the 2018 Vessel Sanitation Program Operations Manual, we are on our way up now and will meet the food and beverage manager who will be joining us at the lobby entrance to the Asian cuisine restaurant, one of the specialty restaurants on board, not far from the Lido where we are going. Captain Hill is studying the menu posted at the entry and is about to ask Officer Zamfir some questions. Let's listen in to their conversation.
Officer Zamfir, while we're waiting for the food and beverage manager to join us, let's take a look at the menu posted here so I can become more familiar with what is being served on board and see if there are any food safety or public health concerns.
Certainly, Captain Hill. Our Asian restaurant does not open until this evening, but there is still a lot of food preparation going on now. And we can circle back after inspecting the Lido buffet if you wish.
Thank you, that's good to know. On the menu here, I see several varieties of sushi, that is raw fish, raw tuna, salmon, and yellowtail. Can you explain the requirements for serving raw fish?
Well, Captain Hill, as you know, the vessel sanitation program allows for consumption of selected raw or undercooked animal origin foods like sushi, as long as the consumer or guest is properly informed by way of a consumer advisory, which has two parts. One, it's an asterisk, is placed next to the menu item and that might be raw or undercooked, and is called disclosure. Second, another asterisk is placed next to a statement at the bottom of the menu indicating raw or undercooked meats or seafood, like sushi, might increase your risk of foodborne illness and is called the reminder. The guest can read the statements and, based on their individual health circumstances, make an informed decision about ordering that menu selection. Also, at the break, I will bring you the certificate of parasite destruction from our sushi fish supplier for review. We know it's important to properly freeze sushi fish to destroy any internal parasitic worms that might be present.
That's great. You're reading my mind. You know, we often see a consumer advisory statement at the bottom of a menu, but there are no asterisks next to the menu items that can be ordered raw or undercooked, but you've done it right. I also see you have a ribeye steak on the menu, which is cooked to order. If a guest orders a rare ribeye steak, shouldn't that have an asterisk next to it too?
Captain Hill, it used to be that we did, but not anymore. There was a change in the 2018 Vessel Sanitation Program Operations Manual, stating that if you use only whole muscle intact beef steak, you are no longer required to have a consumer advisor. We cut our own steak from whole muscle in the butcher shop, so we are in compliance and we don't put asterisks next to our ribeye steaks.
Yes, that's correct. The science shows that as long as you get a color change from red to gray on the surface, it is sufficient to destroy any pathogens that may be present on a steak cut from whole muscle. But if you pin or mechanically tenderize steak or grind the muscle into hamburger, the consumer advisory applies because you can inject bacteria from the surface into the steak or the ground beef. So tell me about your sushi rice. Do you add vinegar to acidify it? Do you use time or temperature as your public health control? What is the pathogen of concern with cooked rice?
Captain Hill, we cook our sushi rice in small batches. We acidify it with vinegar and hold it at room temperature for no more than 4 hours in accordance to our time control plan. The pathogen of concern for this one, it's easy to remember. It's called Bacillus cereus. We know to be serious about cook rice.
Very funny. That's good advice. I want to see your time control plan when we come back later. Unfortunately, many people think by adding vinegar, which is an acid, you make the rice safe and can leave it at room temperature more than 4 hours. But unless you have a pH meter and can maintain the acidity below a pH of 4.6, you must keep it hot or cold outside of the danger zone or discard it as you do after the 4 hours based on an approved time control plan. If cooked rice is time or temperature abused, Bacillus cereus, B. cereus, if present, can sporulate and grow and produce toxin that can make people sick. It's a big problem with fried rice, but I digress.
I see the food and beverage manager headed our way. That was a fascinating discussion we just heard. I didn't realize there was so much to know about consumer advisories, parasite destruction, and time control plans. We're moving on to the Lido Buffet now. Stay tuned for our next public health adventure.